Wasabi wallet. Unfairly private.
The Liquid network is a federated sidechain of Bitcoin that allows users to enjoy the benefits of faster block times, cheaper transaction fees, and confidential transactions. You can also denominate other digital assets on the Liquid sidechain and hold them in a Liquid wallet. Today we're going to be taking a look at SideSwap. This is a mobile wallet that allows people to peg into and out of Liquid Bitcoin, as well as hold other Liquid assets and swap between them and Liquid Bitcoin. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
SideSwap can be found on the Apple App Store as well as Google Play for Android, and it is a very simple to use, bare bones Liquid Bitcoin app. Pretty basic from the setup all the way through. This is just the website here that gives you a few key points about it, but you should be able to pick it up right away, and we're going to dive into how to get this thing working right off the bat. Now, before we do so, of course, I want to give a quick shout out to sponsors of the show, LEDN.io, where you can use your Bitcoin for a variety of different services. Of course, they have their Bitcoin-backed loans where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to get a Canadian or US dollar loan into your bank account within 24 hours. For me, this has been used when I happen to need dollars, but I don't want to sell my Bitcoin because, of course, that's a taxable event, and I'm worried about having to buy back in at a higher price. So I'm able to deposit here, get dollars to my account, and when I pay that off, I get the exact same amount of Bitcoin back, which for me is the important number. Of course, they also have their Bitcoin and USDC savings accounts with interest rates of up to 12.5% annually paid monthly, and they've got their B2X offering that uses the same loan mechanism to instantly buy you more Bitcoin, effectively doubling your Bitcoin on the spot. If you want to check these guys out, links are down below. If you click that link and opt to get either of the loan products, they'll give you $25 for free into your savings. Up next, we have the Cobo Vault, one of my favorite hardware wallets, and I love this thing because it is 100% air gapped. That means you never plug it into anything internet connected. It's all done offline via QR code, and that keeps the keys to your money safe and offline. Now, it's got a dedicated fingerprint scanner and rechargeable battery if you opt for the Pro version, which I have, and all around, I love this thing. I've been using a lot with multi-sig setups as well, so be sure to check them out. Links are in the show notes. And finally, of course, I do live on Bitcoin, and one of the ways I'm able to do so is via Bitrefill. This is a place where you can use Bitcoin to get just about any gift card you can imagine. You can pay via main chain or via the Lightning Network, and hey, maybe someday via the Liquid Network. And the other beautiful thing about, other than the fact that they have just every gift card you can imagine, you actually get sats back as you're shopping. So you can earn some of that Bitcoin back as you spend, and they've got a good referral program as well, so you can possibly earn some referrals from friends and family. So be sure to check them out. Links are down below. Let's dive into the tutorial. So here we are with SideSwap, just freshly downloaded from the Google Play Store, and we're greeted with two options, which are create a new wallet or import a wallet. So if you previously had a Liquid wallet, you could just hit import and type in your seed phrase or your backup phrase here and be able to access it. But we're going to be starting from scratch, so I'm going to hit create new wallet. Now at this point, of course, we're greeted with some terms and conditions, all good, and I'm going to hit agree. And at this point, do you wish to activate biometric authentication? I'm going to say yes. And for me, it's just face scan. Do you wish to back up your wallet? This is a good thing to get out of the way right away. This will be basically a backup of the keys to your money. So treat it as such. It's going to be a series of words. You're going to write them down and keep them safe. So I'm going to hit yes. I'm going to have them show up right there, and this is a 12-word recovery phrase. You got to keep this saved just like with a regular Bitcoin wallet, and I'm gonna write these down, and then we're gonna answer some skill testing questions within the wallet to make sure we've done so. So we'll be back in just a moment. Now, it is worth mentioning that on paper is not always the best method of backing up your wallet. I've heard some horror stories of people just accidentally throwing it out, or, water damage, fire damage, all susceptible to that when you have your seed phrase on paper. So if you want some additional security and peace of mind, you can pick up something like the BillFodl, which is a solid steel plate with little metal tiles that you slide in to back up your seed phrase. This is personally how I back up all of my wallets, especially if there's going to be a meaningful amount of funds in them. So I'll have a link for this down below if that sounds appealing to you. But anyways, let's jump back in. Having written down my words, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit confirm my words. And it's going to ask me a series of them. Hey, which is word number 1, word number 6, 10, and 12? And I just tap on the corresponding one. So I'm just going to hit jump and model and always and measure and confirm. All good. And we have officially set up the wallet. So let's take a look at the interface and what's in front of us. Pretty basic here. We've got receive and pay. So receive and send, more or less. There's a scan button, so you can scan QR codes if somebody's in front of you with a Liquid wallet. If you go down to the bottom, you have a few tabs there. You can click on accounts. This will show you any liquid assets that you may want to deal with. Right now, they have a limited selection, but I imagine that will grow over time for relevant ones. If you want to add or remove, you can tap in the top right, and there are little toggle switches to turn these guys on and off. I'll leave Tether on for demo purposes later. And then finally, there is a swap button. And this is where you would swap between Liquid Bitcoin and other liquid assets, or where you would peg in and out of Liquid Bitcoin from regular Bitcoin, and we'll get into how to do that momentarily. But now we've got a nice overview of what is within the app. As far as settings go, when you hit settings, you can go back and see your recovery phrase, and then you can turn on and off biometric protection, and you can delete the wallet if you no longer want to use this one, which of course I'll do after this video because you guys have seen the full seed phrase for it. So let's first talk about getting your hands on Liquid Bitcoin. There are two different ways to do this. You can just trade regular Bitcoin for a Liquid Bitcoin, and you can do that at a variety of exchanges. You can do that via something like Sideshift.ai, which is a website that allows you to swap coins. So you can do it a variety of different ways. However, Liquid Bitcoin are actually created through a process called pegging in, and you can actually do that via SideSwap here. So it's up to you which way you want to get your hands on Liquid Bitcoin, but I'll show you what's available in the app here. When you hit the swap button down in the bottom right, you're taken to swapping between Liquid and other liquid assets, but there's a little toggle up top, and you can tap on peg in, peg out. And this allows you to swap regular Bitcoin for Liquid Bitcoin. There is a conversion rate, although it's very minimal. It costs 0.1% is the cost of a conversion. So really, really minimal. But the way it works is when you hit peg in, you're presented with a regular Bitcoin QR code and an address that you can copy, and you can send Bitcoin to that address. And depending on the amount you send, if it's a small amount, it will be 2 confirmations on the network before it is swapped for Liquid Bitcoin. If it's a larger amount, then it can be up to 102 confirmations. And the reason for that is they want to be absolutely sure that your Bitcoin transaction is confirmed and in custody among the Federation before issuing a token that represents that Bitcoin. So they want to maintain that one-to-one peg, and that's kind of the best way to do it for larger amounts so that there's no funny business going on in the background. So again, all you would do here is you would take this address, you would go to a regular Bitcoin wallet, perhaps something like Blue Wallet here. You could hit send, you could paste in the address that you copied, and then send any amount of Bitcoin that you like to that address in order to have your Liquid Bitcoin sent back to your wallet, which would be going to the address that is listed at the bottom there. So basically, you're just sending Bitcoin here and waiting for enough confirmations to be issued your Liquid or LBTC. Now, on the other side of that, same thing. If I go back to swap, we're on the peg in, peg out. You will be able to do the opposite of that as soon as they are issued their key. And there was a warning on this, but I was playing around before, but it'll be a pop-up when it's not active. The Liquid Federation is in the process of authorizing SideSwap to do peg outs. Okay, and so this is a process that may take some time, but same idea applies. When you want to swap your Liquid Bitcoin for Bitcoin, you can do that through any Federation member and peg out. And the way it works, again, there's a conversion rate. In this case, it's 0.25%. So again, 0.25%, pretty minimal. And all you do is you say, hey, how much do you want to send? How many Liquid Bitcoin? And then where do you want the on-chain Bitcoin sent to once it swaps? So you need to provide a Bitcoin address, and you can do so through something like Blue Wallet. Again, you can go and hit the receive button and copy your address and then just paste it in there, and you can see it just shows up. So that allows you to peg out. And again, the same thing can apply. You can always just trade your Liquid Bitcoin for Bitcoin on an exchange like Sideshift.ai, but this is another option. However, we're going to just be sending Liquid into this wallet, so we're going to do that next. Okay, so to receive Liquid Bitcoin into this wallet, really simple, and I'm sure you've made the inference, you're just going to hit the receive button. This gives you your address, and you're going to have a QR code that you could scan, and you're going to also have an address down below that you could hit copy. Now, I have another Liquid wallet sitting here on my phone. Blockstream Green allows for Bitcoin and Liquid wallets. I'm just going to hit login and enter my PIN. All right, and as you can see, I already have some Liquid Bitcoin sitting in this wallet. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit the send button. I'm going to tap up top and paste the address that I had copied from SideSwap. And then I'm going to hit add amount. I'm going to choose the asset that I'm dealing with. I only have Liquid Bitcoin in here, so I'm going to hit that. And how much do you want to send? You can choose your amount. I'm going to change it to US dollars just so it's easier for my brain here, but I'm going to hit 50 bucks. And we're going to go ahead and send this transaction off. Now, if you'll notice, the amount of the fee is less than 1 sat per byte, which amounts to about 14 cents. I don't know if you noticed earlier when I was looking at sending a regular Bitcoin transaction, because it's quite busy right now, to get it through in the next block guaranteed, it would have been like 50 bucks. So again, this just kind of beckons to the fact that you can get faster transaction speed out of this, if that's what you're looking for. So, and obviously not just faster transaction speed, but also way less in terms of fees. Okay, so that has been sent off. I should get there's my notification from SideSwap. There we go. It's been received. And that transaction should actually be confirmed within a couple minutes. Okay, so it takes 2 confirmations to go through, and 1 confirmation takes a single minute. So within 2 minutes, fully received and spendable. Now, when everything is confirmed, sending back out is the exact same process. Very simple. You just need to get a Liquid Bitcoin address. And let's just jump back to Green Wallet here. We'll log in and we'll get an address there. So same idea, sending out, you copy an address, we jump back, we can hit send, we can paste in the address, then put any amount of Liquid Bitcoin, 0.0001. What is that? That's about $5. Sure, continue. And the network fee is going to be about 252 sats, which is negligible. Hit confirm, and off it goes. We can see sent, unconfirmed. Let's jump back to Green Wallet. And if I swipe down, it should update with the new transaction in a moment. There we go. So I can see I've got 10,000 sats coming in. That'll be confirmed within 2 minutes here. So now that we've been doing some sending and receiving, we have Liquid Bitcoin in our wallet. We can now take a look at having other assets within the same wallet. So under the accounts tab, you can see we have Liquid Bitcoin, and then there's an option for Tether or Liquid Tether, which is a stable coin pegged to the US dollar. So in order to get some of this, we can go to the swap toggle switch down at the bottom, and we can swap Liquid Bitcoin for USD Tether in whatever amount we choose. So I can put 0.0001, I believe, and that should be, yeah, just over $5 there. So if I hit swap, it's going to execute a swap there. There's no like confirm screen or anything, so just beware. Like if it's not something you want to do, don't go hit that you're ready to do it when you're not. And then when I go back to accounts, I can see that already I've got Tether coming in. It's unconfirmed, but it'll take 2 minutes to confirm. And then I've got that asset within my wallet. And we're actually also going to practice sending the Tether back out once it confirms here over to Green Wallet, and we'll see what it looks like over there as well. All right, so now that it's confirmed, we're going to go back to Green Wallet. We'll just log in really quick. And we're going to get an address. And as we get a liquid address here, it's important to note that whether you're receiving Liquid Bitcoin or another liquid asset, it does not matter. You do not need to have a separate address. It's all the same, and it will show up as a separate asset when you need it. Okay, so we're just going to hit receive. We're just going to copy that regular Liquid Bitcoin address. We'll jump back here. We're going to hit send. We'll paste in that address, and I'm just going to send all of this over. Now, it's important to note that if you have a liquid asset like USD Tether, okay, so if you have Liquid Tether sitting in your wallet, you do need to also have Liquid Bitcoin, because the way you pay transaction fees is not with the Tether, but with the Liquid Bitcoin. That is the native currency of this whole side chain. So you need to have Liquid Bitcoin to cover the whatever it is, the 10-15 cents of transaction fees in order to send the Tether out. If you do not have that, then you will not be able to move it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's kind of the fuel for your transactions. So I continue, hit send and confirm, and that looks all good. It's all sent off. We'll close out of that. We'll just update, make sure, yeah, that's all sent. Okay, I see a 0 balance for Tether now. And we'll jump over to our Blockstream Green Wallet. And there we can see there is an incoming transaction. It says USDT beside it as compared to the other transactions, which is Liquid Sats or LSATs. And we can now see it says 2 assets in this account. And if I tap there, it shows me Liquid Bitcoin, and it also shows me Tether. Okay. And it shows me those 2 separate assets. When I go to send out, it will prompt me, and I'll just paste the old address just because. It will prompt me what asset I want to send. Okay. So that will always be the case if you have more than one asset sitting there. Anyways, I'm not going to be sending that Tether back. I'm going to jump back here to SideSwap. And yeah, now we can see that we have Liquid Bitcoin, we have Tether. Everything is all hunky-dory. If I wanted to swap back, I can always go USDT to Liquid Bitcoin, and I would be 2 minutes out of having that transaction confirmed back to Liquid Bitcoin. Okay, so let's just do a quick review of what we saw here. We were able to spin up a Liquid Network wallet via SideSwap in about a minute just by writing down words. We needed no credentials or signups or anything like that. We had then the option to send Bitcoin and peg into Liquid Bitcoin, which has a 1-to-1 peg via their federated model. There are trust trade-offs there, so of course keep that in mind. But that then allows us to move Liquid Bitcoin wherever we see fit with cheaper transaction fees, quite a bit in the context, especially today, of a $50 transaction fee that was being quoted to me for sending one from a regular Bitcoin wallet versus this where it was around 14 cents. We're also, once we have Liquid Bitcoin, able to swap into and out of any other liquid assets very easily for a regular transaction fee. We were able to get a US dollar stablecoin, send it to and from wallets. Important to note that Bitcoin, or rather Liquid Bitcoin, is the fuel for those transaction fees. So you do need to have some in your wallet when you go to send out. And we were able to send all of that to and from the Blockstream Green wallet as well, alongside SideSwap. So very easy to do, very easy to interact with, cheaper, faster, and all of those transactions that we did. When I said confidential transactions at the beginning of the video as a feature of Liquid, on the outside looking in, when somebody goes to audit the Liquid sidechain, they are not able to see, one, if you're sending Liquid Bitcoin, they're not able to see the amount, nor are they allowed to know what the actual asset that you're sending is. So to somebody on the outside looking in, they see that a transaction happened on the Liquid sidechain. They have no idea if it was LBTC, if it was Tether, and what the amounts were for. They just see that a transaction happened. The only person that would know what the actual transaction was for would be the sender and the recipient. So that's what I mean when I say confidential transactions on Liquid. So of course, if you're curious about this, be sure to check out SideSwap as well as Blockstream Green. I also did a video on Jade wallet, which is a hardware wallet that allows you to secure your Liquid Bitcoin if you do choose to go that route. And I'm sure I'll be doing more videos on this topic in the future. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, as always, please do hit like, subscribe, and share. All of those things really help so much. They help bump this type of content in front of more eyeballs. If you want to help out the show in another way, you can hit up the previously mentioned sponsors down below. That was LEDN, Cobo, Bitrefill, and of course privacypros.io for the BillFodl to back up any Bitcoin wallet you may have. And finally, if you really liked what you saw, you can always drop me a Lightning Network tip at my tippin.me page. That is tippin.me/@BTC sessions. With that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening wherever you may be, and I will see you guys next time for your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.